with GrowExpand.com. I hope you are up to a great day. I also hope the Eagles won against the Rams. I'm not exactly positive about that, but that is not why you are here today. We're not here to talk about the amazing Philadelphia Eagles and their need to trade Carson Wentz for anything they can get. We're here to talk about how to grow your business, how to drive sales, how you can make more money. And we're going to start doing that right now, live, answering your questions. So let's get started, right? So, I am Rich Laster with GrowExpand.com. I am a B2B sales expert. I am a fractional CSO, which means people who don't necessarily have a sales organization of their own often hire me because they need results. That's it. They don't hire me because they like the way my bald head shines in their boardroom. They hire me because they need results. You may or may not need results. You may or may not be driving those results for yourself right now. But that's what Sunday Sales and Cigars is all about. Today, I'm going to enjoy something my friend and colleague Bill Morrow put me onto, which has gotten me on this kick of enjoying them Traficante cigars. This is the Brooklyn Icon, aka Biggie. So today, I know you're busy. I know you have a lot going on. I know you don't necessarily want to just talk about cigars. You want to talk about business. You want to talk about how you can grow, how you can win, how you can succeed. So we're going to jump right into that. What are sales channels? Sales channels are the methods by which you take your product or service and get it in the hands of the people who represent the buyer, the ideal client, in exchange for money. Okay? Are there any questions on that? If so, hit us in that live chat. We do this live for the exact purpose of allowing you to be able to ask us questions and get like real-time answers. Like real-time. coffeebykey.com. Anyway, back to it. So, what are these sales channels? Sales channel 1, outsourcing. What is outsourcing? Outsourcing is when your business recognizes that it needs an expert at sales to, based on your budget and your projections that you can afford. I mean, that's very important. But based on what you can afford, based on what your projections are and how seriously and how quickly you need to get there, you often outsource sales to a firm in order to have those projections hit on time or ahead of time. For example, in the B2B business community, sales on average takes 6 to 18 months. Well, most businesses can't necessarily handle waiting 18 months to see a shift in revenue, so they bring in an expert. What that expert isn't going to do is necessarily cut that sales cycle in half. But what they are going to do, based on your budget, is drive results. That's all they do. Unlike a CEO, a CFO, a COO, executive, a vice president who has a number of tasks on their plate at the time, an outsourced sales consultant has one task. And that is connecting with your end user, connecting with your buyer, your ideal customer, and building relationship with them, helping them, and driving and working to convert them into a sale or into revenue for you and for your business. Delicious as always. So, next, we talked about outsourcing. To give you an example of outsourcing, there are firms like GrowExpand.com. That's all they do. That's all we do. Whether we're doing hands-on sales for you as a fractional sales officer or if we're doing strategy for you, on how you can better drive sales growth and revenue growth yourself. That is our niche. That is our strength. That is what we are paid very well for. All right. Second sales channel are resellers. What is a reseller? Resell. They buy it from you and they resell it at a markup. So you will offer it to them typically at a discounted rate, whether that rate be wholesale or something the two of you negotiate. A reseller takes your product and repolishes it just enough to take it to market. Or they may not repolish it at all. Let's get more specific there. If they don't repolish it, if they just take your product and directly take it to market, what a good example of that would be Alibaba or AliExpress, where you can order products from China, the UK, Canada, et al. For a discounted rate, put a markup on those products, and immediately sell those products yourself. Okay? That's a reseller. What is a value-adding reseller? It's a little bit of a difference. A value-adding reseller takes your product raw, right? They polish it, and they aim it at a specific target market, all right? So, for example, software vendors, right? A software vendor may take your software and as is take it to market. They may also take your software, do edits to the code, do edits to the user interface, and then take it to market with a specific end user or market segment in mind. These are very different things, and these are things that you need to and ought to be very aware of. All right? Any questions out there so far? That's good. That's good. All right. So, another form of a reseller would be, and this is something you are aware of, but you may have never given it any thought. Another form of a reseller would be a white label reseller. This person takes your product and has an agreement with you that they are going to take your product in a blank package. They are going to package it, they are going to label it, they are going to add their brand to it, and then take it to market as if it is their own. All right? For an agreed upon price, all right? You are fine with this. A good example of this, and it's right in front of your face, it's probably in your kitchen, are cookies. A lot of supermarkets buy cookies from the same plants where Oreos and Chips Ahoy are made with their supermarket logo on them. Oreo and Chips Ahoy white label their cookies to some supermarkets at a set price, but still cheaper than the manufacturer's suggested retail price of their brand product all the time. You eat these cookies. I love these cookies. Although I am preferential to actual good old-fashioned, all-American, authentic Chips Ahoy. Right? A nice cold glass of soy milk or almond milk, and I am a happy guy. Right? We've got a question here from Nina. What do you think is the greatest threat to B2B sales and deals during this pandemic? That is a great question. All right, so we're going to stop talking about sales channels for just a second because, like I promised, your questions are most important. Your questions take priority. The greatest threat to B2B sales, the greatest threat to all sales and any sales is ego. Some of the best salespeople a year ago are flailing right now because they haven't adapted. All right. The key offering of GrowExpand.com, the key offering of those sales professionals out there like myself who are being successful right now, is a focus on the relationship and not just the commission, not just the deal. All right. It's a sincere desire, it's a sincere want to have a positive impact on the consumer. What does that do? That positively impacts the brand of my client, all right, the person outsourcing their sales to my firm. That positively impacts that end user, because now some pain point or some desired gain that they are seeking is being met. But more than ever, especially with the Freedom of Information Act and like just our entire culture, our society right now, there is a very salient need for compassion and empathy. And any sales professional that isn't approaching the market with that mindset and that attitude is likely to recognize that they're not doing the numbers they used to. But the good thing is we can all change. We can all adapt. The greatest lesson of entrepreneurship, the greatest loon shot lesson there is that change is not only inevitable, it is necessary. And those of us who don't change, we die. All right. Thank you for that question. We talked about white labeling. All right. What we're going to talk about next is e-commerce, a great sales channel for a lot of people, especially people with retail products and services, with actual tangible business. That's you, the entrepreneur, to consumer, right? That's the marketplace at large. One of the greatest resources to you right now is e-commerce, the ability to take your product or service to market via your website, via eBay, via Amazon.com. What else is there? Well, maybe that needs to be created. Maybe that's the next big business idea. Maybe there are some holes in the way all of these channels are offering e-commerce solutions, e-commerce infrastructure. The e-commerce supply chain is very simple, right? But everything can be improved on. And maybe that's something inside of you out there in YouTube land. Maybe you have inside of you the improvements needed and the changes and improvements and enhancements and innovations needed to take us to the next level, right? But e-commerce, there is no overhead, right? I mean, and when you think about e-commerce, what do you think about? You think about Amazon right now, one of the fastest growing businesses in the country. CEO has been noted to now be worth $200 billion. Great. But what are you doing? That's great for him, right? We've all used them. We've all used his site. But what are you doing? And how can you have a positive impact on the marketplace and the consumer base that represents the people who your idea benefits the most, right? It may be e-commerce. It may be some of the other channels we've discussed. It may be retail. So let's talk about that right now. Some businesses and some cultures and some offerings still appeal to a segment of the population, boomers and Gen Xers mostly, who aren't e-commerce buyers, right? They do it, but they default to physically interacting with you, the seller. These are retail customers. These are people who, as e-commerce solutions are challenging the market share of a lot of retailers, retail customers, retail loyalists are at home going nuts. You know, they just don't know what to do, right? Baby boomers do not necessarily like the fact that they are now forced to use smartphones, to do things that they have always done with a handshake, with eye-to-eye contact, right? It's uncomfortable, it's new, it's unsettling. Gen Xers and millennials are there for them as their children and grandchildren to help them. I know we've seen this a lot in my family, but listen, whenever a culture shift is introduced, there are going to be people that are uncomfortable. The responsibility of you as the business is to make them comfortable, right? In the challenger sales model, educating the consumer is job one. To educate somebody, you have to first assess what they do and don't know, right? If I'm sitting here talking to you about your car, and I don't know how much you know about your car already, what I want to share with you, the value I think I might be adding to you in this conversation is a complete waste, all right? Traffic Contact, good job on the Biggie, aka the Notorious, aka the Brooklyn Icon. It's delicious. So, we talked about e-commerce, we talked about retail. Now I'm going to take you all the way, and I'm not giving an example of retail, all right? I will, okay. Pharmacies. Pharmacies are the best example of retail. And pharmacies are under attack finally. And it's good to see, in my opinion, because pharmacies have been one of the last holdouts of the brick and mortar business retail operation. Do you trust getting your drugs, your prescription, filled online and delivered to you by someone you don't know? These are pills you have to take for medical purposes as ordered by your doctor, right? This is a true, I don't even know if it's a disruption, but it's definitely a loon shot, right? It's a great book. You should read it, Loon Shots. Anyway, it challenges the way things have always been done. It challenges us to, quite frankly, come out of our comfort zones. And it's doing it, I mean, these businesses that I'm aware of offering online pharmacies solutions, they're hitting the market right now. While the country is, one, home, two, very emotional, right? This pandemic has made everyone a little bit uncomfortable. I'm certain of that. But it's a great idea. You're home. You don't want to leave home because the world is topsy-turvy. You need your medicine. And now Billy's going to deliver it. If you visit such and such website where Billy's a delivery guy. It's awesome. Why not? Let's shake it up. Let's shake it up. I mean, there's no greater lesson in business than the importance of being able to, being ready to, and having the fortitude to withstand challenge, withstand upsets, withstand disruptions, right? You will pivot, you will adjust, you will adapt, or you will die. And these are all parts of the circle of life. Yeah, my kids loved The Lion King growing up, and therefore the songs are forever stuck in my head. All right, so next. All right, we're talking about disruptions of retail. We just talked about pharmacies versus these new online pharmacy services. So now let's talk about automated retail. Now, automated retail isn't an online pharmacy. That's e-commerce, right? We just talked about that. Rewind after we're finished with this live and check it out again if you need. I'm going to put some bullets in the notes so you have them. automated retail is in every major city right now, and it's beautiful, but it's like, what? So our example for this is CARVANA. CARVANA has created the first car kiosk or vending machine where you go online to CARVANA, you apply for credit or you pay for this card after you select it, blah, blah, blah. And if you're in one of these cities where the CARVANA vending machines are, like Philadelphia, New York, Dallas, you can drive or get a ride or catch an Uber to the vending machine, type in your confirmation number from your online purchase for the car, and the vending machine will bring the car down to you and you drive off. You never interact with a human. That is automated retail. You never interact with a human. You've been doing it for years, you just didn't think about it. Those crimpets, those tasty cakes that you get every day at lunch, at work, from that box with the glass window and the buttons, it's called a vending machine. Yes, you have been engaging in automated retail for a very long time, right? Who doesn't love a tasty cake lemon pie? Everybody loves a tasty cake lemon pie, unless you're a good old American apple pie kind of guy or gal. I don't know. It's okay. I'm a lemon guy, you know? I don't mind the tart. I don't mind the sweet. I'll take it all. I'll make lemonade. I'll sell it to you. And everybody's happy because everybody loves lemonade. All right? Let's get back on track. Direct marketing is next. What is direct marketing? I'm glad you asked. God, you got great questions today. Direct marketing is when you, or usually some team of young, kick-ass guys and girls sitting in a gigantic conference-like room in extremely small cubicles with very high walls and telephones and computers, take your product or service, take a call list, and dial that call list, or they email that call list, or they stand there and print out labels and do actual postal mail to that call list. Or they take a zip code, a list of addresses, a list of blocks and streets, and they get in their cars or they get on the bus and they go to those addresses and they go door to door. Hi, I'm with Eureka Vacuum Company. We'd like to sell you a Eureka. Did you know that Eureka picks up 90% more dirt than any other vacuum on the market? And until you slam the door in their face, until you bang the phone in their ear, until you call them every name except God, they're going to persist. This is good. This is good. This is a great place. Usually sales professionals start their careers here. Usually, do we have another question? Okay, no. All right. A lot of sales professionals start their careers here. A lot of kids in college do these jobs. A lot of people that didn't go to college do these jobs. It doesn't matter. All right. Direct marketing has been around, always will be around, and it's a great avenue. Let's get the sun out my face. It's a great avenue for your business if, honestly, your relationship with the client, the relationship that you need, is more transactional than anything else, then that's okay. That's okay. It's okay to go direct marketing, which is like using a sledgehammer to kill a fly, because it toughens the sledgehammer, right? There's nothing more important to learn, or for you or anyone doing your selling to understand, than the value, the benefit, the blessing, the holy anointing on the word no. No doesn't depress you. No doesn't get you down, right? If all you get is no, then maybe you need to reassess A, you and your approach, or B, your product or service. But A will usually do it, right? No is good. No develops a conversation. No forces you to learn where you're missing the boat. You thought you were helping. You thought you were bringing this amazing product or service to market, and all you hear is no. Well, maybe you're not communicating well. That's the first place to look. Let's not rip your product and service apart yet, right? Give it a year. Right? Go hard. Try everything you can. Communicate as effectively as you can, and listen to what you're hearing, right? When you started this business, I hope you put the time in to survey everybody you interacted with. I went over the survey last week, so if you missed it, visit growexpand.com/YouTube and catch up. Listen, everybody who has ever made a purchase with you did it for a reason. If you don't know that reason, that's a good project for you this week. Find out. They know the value that you add that your competitors don't, because that's why you got their money. That's why you were their choice. Remain their choice and become the choice of more people by really understanding that. What pain did you heal? What gain or what goal did you help them achieve? Get clear on that. Get clear on that. Because when you're clear on that, you can zoom in on who you can and can't help. And that's what this is all about. It's not about numbers and making commissions. Man. The more people you help, you're going to make commissions. Let's get clear on that. Get clear, get focused on who you can positively impact, who you can help. The money will come. It's the byproduct of adding value. It's a beautiful byproduct. The world is a capitalism. Okay? I don't care how you feel, what you think. This is a reality. Right? So let's do it. And let's do it well. Get out there. Whether you need to outsource it, whether you need to hire a direct marketing firm and to sell it. Get busy. Now, before I close, I want to say something to you, and this is awesome. You don't need just one sales channel. Nobody said you have to take one of the options that we just talked about and lock in with it. Why not use two? Right? Why not use two? Why not use three? There are so many different names for resellers. There are so many different names for direct marketing. There are so many ways to go about having a greater impact in the marketplace that until you know exactly what channels are going to work best for you, who said use only one? Do a cost analysis. Can you afford 1, 2, 3, 4? Like, come on here. Let's get busy. All right? Understand who your customer is. Now, I understand that if, like most of my clients, if you're selling B2B, business to business, or B2G, business to government, then you're typically in the outsourcing lane to a professional like myself, or you're doing it personally, you're doing it yourself, and you're building those relationships with those decision makers and the gatekeepers in that world. You're on LinkedIn 2 hours a day, right? You're getting to know the people that you want to help. But if you're business to consumer, and sometimes even B2B, there are more than one sales channel available to you. Your website can act as a duplication of services sometimes, right? Your website sometimes serves as not just a great place for them to learn more about you, but a great tool for you to convert. If you're weak in any of these areas, if you need a CRM, if you need outsourced help, reach out to me. But otherwise, get out there and do it. This is Rich Lasser. I love you. Right? I want your success. I want your growth. I want you to win. Any questions that you haven't had the time or opportunity to ask today, I get notifications on my mobile device when you hit us up on YouTube or on our social media at GrowExpand or at the BizGrow Pro. I want to help. Let me know how. Please visit our sponsor, smokeblack.com, and look, have a great day.